Happy Tuesday, Wilmington, Ohio, Clinton County 45177. So, concerning the police report made to Wilmington PD, the initial call. So, um, when I made that call and I expressed that there was a gentleman throwing hammers at his children, I, being stupid, I will own that all day. You know, if I'm stupid and I do something that's um, what's the word I'm looking for? Mm, Anyway, let me push through this and you'll get the idea. So when I called the police department and asked if any of this had been reported, I went through the spiel. I told them everything that happened. I was assuming. I mean, if I'm a police officer and I've got somebody calling me and explaining to me, that hey, there's a guy and we all know who this guy is, throwing hammers at his children, admitting to it. I was assuming a report was being taken. Did the words, "Hey, I want to make a report," come out of my mouth? I thought that's what I was doing when I called the cops. I don't normally call the police department and shoot the shit with them. In fact, I never do that. So, with that in mind, I am going to take some fault in that. I am. But on the same token, these people knew who it was, and they weren't dare going to put anything about the law director on the record. So so don't be stupid like I was on this one, and not be specific and say I want to make a report. Now, the second one, oh, there's no denying that. I've got the email that I've sent to the chief today and says the date. Am I going to provide? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm requesting it. I want it. So I've always had the call. Their need to fulfill that part of my request. If they provide it, oh well. But that second report, that better exist. Because that one, and now this is how that's going to play out. They're going to say, well, we got your report here, but hey, we talked to CPS and they said our services wasn't needed anymore. How convenient. Okay, so now the community is just outright stupid, because we all know, and if that was anybody else, CPS would have been there for 45 days. So, in any regard, to Mr. Hamilton, I apologize to you, sir, for not breaking it down shotgun style and specifically saying what I thought any police officer would take into consideration. Say, hey, this guy's telling me somebody's throwing hammers. That's process of elimination. I guess second grade police work. I don't know, but that was my bad for assuming that a report was being taken when I'm explaining to you that a gentleman is throwing hammers at his children. And I would be willing to bet if I called 5 police stations, all 5 of them would probably like, wait, whoa. Where's this at? Some initiative would be taken. So you and I both are going to own that one, sir. But the second one, oh no. That one, that was a well thought out, versed report from what took place from start to finish. And the idea that these people are trying to make this out to be like some type of political hack, like oh, he was working with Judge Henry. No, I hadn't said a word to Judge Henry for probably 10 years or better. Other than after finding this out, I said, you got my vote at a council meeting once. That's it. And my son's baseball team played theirs in Little League. That was the last time I've ever saw Mr. Henry. But they tried to spin this. The Wilmington News Journal tried to spin this out like, and Mr. Ruddick like that was why his son got 19. Well, I mean, perhaps it was, but I was working with no one. But the idea that you would want to keep that from voters, some bizarre acts like that, and you would be safe and thinking to put somebody like that in charge of a bench making decisions. Wow. And I tell you, rumor has it that Mr. McCoy is going to appoint Mr. Ruddick as a magistrate. You want to lose followers, you want to lose support, do that. Watch what happens. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't give a rat's behind what these people say to your face, to the both of you. I promise you, behind closed doors, it's a different book. I promise you, it is. There are people that are in an official capacity that hate your guts, and say why. Me and Daryl have nothing to do with that. I mean, we're just trying to get to the bottom of why these people do break the law. They stop breaking the law. You didn't do this. I see you didn't appeal, Tony. Well, yeah, shit. Your daddy's lawyer friend, talked me out of it. That's what he was supposed to do. But I promise you that story's not that story's never going to end outside my getting justice. I guarantee you. I promise you. Because the input that I've gotten from my individual case as far as that foreclosure goes, every single person that sees it, they took you for a ride. And then the local people didn't dare go up against the judge, because that's the guy that gets them paid. You go against the system, you ain't getting paid. Yeah, or you go against the grind. So in any event, again, the second report that I'm requesting about the whole hammer throw incident, I expect that. And then when a news source comes out, speaks of me, tells a lie, and well, anyway, you'll find out where that's going. Wilmington News Journal, you're going to be hearing from a lot of me. Well, not me, my representation, because I'm going to tell you, I bet you 10 or 15 people have stopped me or more, or messaged me. If you combine them both, probably upwards of 50, asking me why I didn't provide the police officers with information. Well, because that's a lie. I gave them every piece of information that they needed, other than what the two Ruddick twins, the Bopsy twins over there, what they're dying to get, and that's the person who took the pictures of that derelict throwing hammers at his kid. My opinion, and I can have that opinion. And it is what it is. I know these people aren't accustomed to being challenged in any way, shape, or form, to being exposed. They're used to having that blanket of immunity until all of a sudden, they don't have it. Well, I don't give a shit. I mean, right's right and wrong's wrong. Sorry. It is what it is. So, again, this is purely a piece to, I own part of that for not being crystal clear to the officer that I made the call that, hey, this is a report. I would again, I would journey to imagine, or just assume, that if I call a police officer at their place of business and I'm giving them a whole bunch of information, it's not for my health. I mean, but okay. So we'll just wait for the other report and go from there. I can assure you, it exists. Well, it better exist, unless somebody got into the files and took it to make sure nothing goes on the record. But anyway, in any event, fun times to come. Most definitely fun times. And I am preparing my own packet to supply to Judge Ruddick's lawyer. I don't know if I have to do that or not, but I feel I'm going to throw my case on top of what the state's gone after him for. And I'm going to say, hey, check this out. I mean, you guys want to know what feeds me? You guys want to know what drives me? Well, a man who sees the information that he saw and was presented, and gave his lawyer and his bank buddies summary judgment on a case that no judge in the world would have done that. None. I challenge any judge, if you're out there retired, and I know there's at least two of you that watch. You're on my side on this, so of course you're not gonna. But anyway, I challenge any lawyer, any judge. Hey, Mr. Ruddock, if you want me to provide you, well, they're going to get it anyway. And I don't care if the state has it or not. They don't represent me. They don't represent you, or whoever the hell's taking you through this realm of disciplinary acts. I'm going to present my packet. I'm going to present audio of the hammer throw. I'm going to present the pictures. I'm going to present to them fact from top to bottom about my foreclosure case. And hey, you know what? Maybe that'll shed some light on them as to when they start making decisions on your fate. Because I want to tell you right now, I don't know of an institution in the world that would get a letter from another government entity saying, "Hey, we've removed Mr. Thomas, removed anybody from their position. He's getting a rather large due to health issues, potentially fatal, and hey, we're going to pay all rears. We're going to pay all of his rears, and he'll have a whole shitload left." And I would have been able to keep my home. And I was out for 10 months. There's people in this community that First or Wilmington Savings Bank allowed, not to pay for 3 years. And I hear there's people that's been in their homes for or without making a payment for 2 years, 3, just like Ruddock says. That wasn't me. And not to mention there was payments, partial payments being taken out of my disability from work. So this is going to get very interesting. And knowing that a devil dog is going to be vice president, fellow Ohio, I know his recruiter. It's going to be fun stuff. Yeah, it is. In fact, I've sent some packets out, and we'll see what happens. But people say, "Well, you shouldn't have jumped into something you couldn't afford." Blah blah. If you know the story from top to bottom, you'll know what these people did. Because had the OCC and the FDIC got a hold of this, and if that lawyer Rick Getke represented me to the best of his ability, and an appeal was filed instead of him all of a sudden recognizing this huge crime and then caving because Ruddock said, "No, we're not going to let this happen. I just can't do it. He's my buddy. He's my judge buddy." And also known for some pretty shady shit in Lebanon, Ohio. I mean, like I said, you can go anywhere in Lebanon and mention that name, and you're not going to get anything. Well, you might, but go to some of the old businesses. Anyway, it could have everything could have been avoided. Just acting with honor and integrity, and the sick reality is, there's people in this community that are in positions that have neither. They're scum. They're scum. And you get mad at people who expose you for being the scum. Simplify and God bless. Got a phone call.